It's a bull. Good early afternoon. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got the live Deerfield beach cam up here. Looks like the divers are cleaning off the glass of the camera because it is so much clearer right now. And I saw them doing it earlier, and actually it's not live. I just kind of saved it so you guys could watch it. Here's the live view. Hey, let's just see if this guy shows his face. There he is. There's the guy that cleans the camera here. It's kind of, oh, he looks like the maintenance guy too. Great camera, by the way, and you know, if you watch my videos, I have it here all the time. And yeah, actually, just hit the live button here and see. There we go. He looks like he's all finished up, and wow, look, all the bait fish have come back. That's mesmerizing. I like that word too, mesmerizing. Let's do a quick downsize the screen here. And there we go. Again, live Deerfield beach cam. You can watch this yourself. Wonderful camera. One of the most relaxing cameras out there, and the resolution is really good on a good computer. Here's our quote of the day from me. Show me who makes a profit from war, and I'll show you how to stop the war. And oddly enough, this was done by Henry Ford. And I know some of you are going to make comments about Henry Ford and his contribution to the war. So, Henry, no, there's no doubt that Mr. Ford made a fortune off the war here. I don't think he was anti-war in any way, but interesting enough, he did say this, and apparently he knew how to stop the war, apparently to this quote, but no less, this is true. And who talks about this? Eisenhower talked about this in the his final farewell speech. What was it? About the military-industrial complex. I was going to actually play it for you here, but I figured, you know, if you haven't seen Eisenhower's speech on the military-industrial complex, his farewell speech, or that segment of it, then you probably really need to listen to it, because Eisenhower, a general, a wartime general, warned us about what we got going on right now. What happened actually after he left office was the military-industrial complex, who has basically taken over and spends most of the budget of the United States. But again, I don't need to go on that. You guys, you smart folks know all about that kind of stuff. Well, let's take a look at spot prices here. We've kind of got a little dumping going on right now. And take a look at this, 1959, and let's look what the ranges are. A high in 1959, well, no, a high in 1982 actually, which was yesterday. We'll look at the 24-hour chart here in a moment. And a low of 1959.48. Currently sitting at 1959.77. So, and Chart Guy has made a comment today on our comments from yesterday about what he thinks is happening. And oddly enough, damn, his numbers look right. Let's see what happens here. Chart Guy, you're surprisingly right today. Yesterday's report, you're right today. Let's see what happens for the rest of the day. But let's take a look at silver here. 25.26, the current low. And a high of 26. So man, we've dropped almost 75 cents an ounce per yesterday, which is kind of not a big deal. Provides you a good opportunity to buy the friggin' dip. And again, if you hang on for a few minutes and you get over to the videos, yesterday's video, which I'll make comments on about the comments, Chart Guy mentions a couple things that I think are going to be very interesting to hear. And I believe he is correct on this as well. Let's take a look at platinum. Boy, sub $1,000 again, platinum, but didn't surprise me. I figured a smackdown of all these metals, and I don't think we're going to see sub $25 either, Mr. Chart Guy. So just to give you an idea as far as silver goes, but let me kind of look at that range, 991, 1,025. So things are moving right now, and again, I think these little lulls right here will provide a good dip buying opportunity. And as I said, stay tuned for the Chart Guy's analysis on as far as his chart analysis goes on what's happening with silver right now. Let's take a look at the 24-hour chart here, and a couple of things we're going to talk about. I've been trying to get gata.org to load, but I think their site might be down. And a few things on what's going on over on the other side of the world with this war I want to talk about as well, and share some really cool data and maps with you. Let's take a look at the 24-hour spot price on gold. I'm going to do another refresh here because I haven't done it for a few moments. And here we go. New York Crimex market is where the monkey hammering starts at 8:20 in the morning. Take a look at this. Bam. We haven't seen that rebound up yet, but we will. The day is still early. It's not even noontime yet. And even if we don't, even I believe if we see this, I'm going to call it monkey hammering. There's your first drink of the day, but the monkey hammering you see right here, for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we've seen it kind of rebound almost instantly. We're not seeing that yet as of today, but I think things are kind of changing. There's a lot of swirling and in the water out there. I mean, a lot of swirling. I don't know if swirling. I don't know where swirling came from, but there's a lot of turbulence. How's that? That's a better word. Turbulence out there in the economic and the political world. So I'm waiting to see this. I don't think going to see the slingshot that we've seen for the last 2 or 3 weeks. This might kind of drift sideways, but overall I feel the market's going to be up substantially from here. And again, stay tuned for the analysis by Mr. Chart Guy. Boy, I'm making a big deal of Chart Guy. Hey, Chart Guy, if you're listening. But actually, I think your charts have been pretty damn correct here, and today is kind of scarily right. Take a look at this number, 25, 25, 25, 35, okay? Remember that shortly here. And silver, there you go. I don't think silver just kind of fell off that cliff to almost that $26 mark from yesterday. You look at yesterday, we were above $26. But no less, this is very temporary. I wish I'd known about it today. I bought a bunch of kilo silver bars, by the way. Going to have a wonderful deal on kilo silver bars out there, folks. I managed to locate myself a bunch of them. But I'll get into that a little bit too here when I start talking about the different products and what the deals are. And if you watched my video yesterday, I talked about gold bars. I was right. And I'll get into that as well. But silver kind of like falling off a cliff. We haven't seen that, what I've been calling the slingshot, where it just shoots up to the same area or higher immediately afterwards. So far, it's gone down, drifted a little bit sideways, and we're sitting at that 25.20 mark, where we hit a low at 25.20, it looks like from here. And it's still not done. So let's see where this goes. And again, this is a good sign. This is a good sign. This pullback right here and this pullback on gold are a good sign. And as I've always said, a good opportunity to do what? BFTD, buy the friggin', or BTFT, I'm sorry, buy the friggin' dips, all right? Buy the friggin' dips. All right, let's take a look at what's happening in the equities markets. Up a little bit, oddly enough. And interesting, 360. Let's see, that's, yeah, up a little bit, but not much. Must be some good news out there that's happening. I'll take a look at ZH and see, but no less, it certainly is not going to have anything to do with the war going on right now in that particular situation. In fact, interestingly enough, folks, I think that war is pretty much, at least the eastern side of half of that country has pretty much been wrapped up in, anyways, got a really cool map to show you here if you don't mind waiting for it. It's, where is it? Right over here. There's the map I want to discuss right here. And meanwhile, as I said, the equities market's kind of like up a little bit today, surprisingly. I'm not quite sure why. There must have been some good news come out somehow, but I don't think that's going to last long. And let's take a look at what's happening as far as product goes. Yesterday's video, for some of you new folks out there, you say, well, why is he showing us JM Bullion? Isn't he trying to sell his own precious metals? Absolutely I am, but you have to realize as a brick and mortar store and as a small business person that you got to compete against the big the big online gorillas out there like JM Bullion, like SD, like APMEX. So one of the things that I am is a local brick and mortar store, and I don't do online sales as of yet. Maybe someday I will down the road, but right now I just don't do online sales. I'm doing as much as I can, just doing our over-counter the sales here in the store, and it's a quite tiny store, but trust me, we do a huge amount of business out of this place. There I go, I was kind of plugging myself. I advertise to beat JM Bullion. JM Bullion is the 800-pound gorilla out there, owned by a publicly owned company, and again, respectable company in my opinion, as are a couple of the others out there. So I use them as an example. Yesterday I was talking about the gold bars are going to go up in price. Again, I talked to Dealer X. I'm going to call him Dealer X. He's a good friend of mine for many, many years. A real good friend of mine for many years, and we had a long discussion. He's a huge wholesaler in the gold and silver markets, and he was discussing with me that we're going to see a bar shortage here and on gold bars, and that we would probably see the premiums go up. That was yesterday's video, and lo and behold, all of a sudden, take a look at this. The price of the bars have shot up since yesterday, and by no small number either. Take a look. I mean, gold at 1960, so 70. Let's say 1970 gold. 30, so 56, 66, 76, 86, almost $100 now for the bars. Folks, we were selling these not too long ago at spot plus 78. Not, in fact, not too long ago. Yesterday, I think we were at spot plus 78, or between 78 and 82 bucks over, or less than that. They're even higher than that now, folks. Again, my dealers that I deal with have told me that right now no bars expected until the end of the month for gold bars, and those are the best deals out there. Let's take a look at Eagles and these kind of things too. They're just not being produced, folks. I don't know why or how they can, how the mints are spinning it, that they're not. Oh, well, we don't have enough blanks, or we don't have enough this or that. No, I don't believe that's necessarily true, folks. There's a lot more going here than meets the eye when the big sovereign nations stop producing gold and silver from their major mints. That includes the U.S. mint with the American Eagle, the Canadians with their Maple Leaf. They can make all the excuses in the world. We don't have blanks, we don't have blanks. These are the biggest producers of gold and silver out there, folks. Again, Canadians, the U.S. mint, Australia, UK, and even the Swiss right now, the bars, even the bar companies and the generic companies are having a hard time getting product right now. So, no, it has nothing to do with, they're going to say supply constraints. Well, hold on. They're going to say constraints in the shipping, constraints in the manufacturing of these bars. That's not the case. It's constraints in the product itself. The product itself is getting harder and harder to buy. I also believe that the manipulation by the dog is starting to wag the tail a little bit, that the paper prices are so ridiculously cheaply priced that people with real metal are unwilling to sell at these bullshit current paper prices. But we've talked about that for 2 years now. And by the way, I'm coming up on my 2-year exact anniversary pretty soon. When is that going to be? Tomorrow. My gosh, April 20th. I think I'll be exactly 2 years doing YouTube videos. All right, well, let's move along here. Oh, God, didn't even notice that until I just thought, real quickly, popped in my mind. Britannias are even pricey right there. Look at bars, though, man. Britannias actually seem a little bit cheaper for some reason. I'm going to have to look into that and see what availability is. Right now, this stuff is available, but it looks like the premiums, even on the bars that I like, are nearing that $100 mark here soon, and that's from the big online sellers. Again, as I said, I advertise to be at Max JM SD Bullion, and I'm a local coin store, open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. So if you live in South Florida, I'm the guy to see. If you live somewhere else outside my area and you can't do business with me face to face, then unfortunately, not unfortunately, what I'm saying, unfortunately you can't deal with me and I can't deal with you. Unfortunately, I don't get to meet you. But I suggest that you find good local dealers for a couple of reasons. A good local dealer, you get face-to-face treatment. If they've been around, I like the decade rule. A decade or better makes me more comfortable with a person. And do some little research and use your gut feelings on what you think about them as well. Because I do know some dirtbags that have been around for more than a decade, so don't take that to heart completely. But again, use your gut feelings, do a little research about the person, and if they're willing to match or beat or come close to the big online sellers, keep that money local, keep it in your town, and plus you're going to have to sell this stuff at some point. So good to develop a relationship with someone that may be buying your stuff. Even if you have bought from the online companies. Let's take a look at in-stock silver. Hasn't gotten any better here. I am curious because I bought a really cool deal of a nice big deal of kilo bars. I don't know how long they're going to last, but let's take a look and see what kilo prices are going for. And again, I'm going to beat these prices for sure. $9.69 in stock. Okay, that's no great deal. What is the best deal out there? I still think it's 100-ounce silver bars, in-stock silver. But kilos, I'm going to have a better price than everybody on kilos for sure. So if you like kilo bars, come see me. This probably towards the end of the week is when I get my allotment in. And there we go. Let me take a look at 100-ounce bars. There's the best deal out there, 100-ounce bars. And that's as low as, let's actually see what that, $29.55 where they're at. And what's silver right there, $25.73. And I'm just doing the math in my head. Oh, wow. Even the price of the 100-ounce bars has gone up substantially. Wow, 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 wow. I can still beat the price of these guys on 100-ounce bars. 1-ounce bars, man, I mean 1-ounce rounds and generic 10s and stuff, the prices are just crazy on them. Let me go back here and take a look. Like I said, folks, the reason I'm showing you these guys is because they are one of the largest online sellers out there. And myself and your local dealer should be able to beat their prices. I'm not saying anything negative about them. In fact, I kind of respect these guys. They've done a great job. So have some of the others as well. Well, take a look at that. 100-ounce bars, 10-ounce bars, 5-ounce. I actually got some 5s, but don't forget J.M. Bullion does own part of Silvertown, or most of Silvertown, and some of Sunshine Mint, so that they have direct access to this product. That's why you see when everyone else is out of Silvertown generic products, JM has got plenty of it because they supply themselves first. Why wouldn't they? They own the company. And 10-ounce, wow, take a look at that. We're still looking at, that's not a bad price, actually. Let me see. They seem to lower their price a little bit on the generics. $31 more or less. And if you buy it in quantity, 50 plus 10-ounce bars are at $30, $60. That's still like a $5 plus premium. Again, as I said, I can beat that price if you're local and you live in my area. And you come and see me between the hours of 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays, except on holidays. Well, not a lot of great deals out there. Again, hundreds being the best. Kilos, what I get coming in, going to be a great deal. Tens and ones are even getting expensive. And don't even go near Silver Eagles, Maple Leafs. People got them in stock. They're willing to give a good deal. You should buy them as long as they're not more than spot plus $7, I think. Again, I got some maples here, and I do advertise to beat the online guys for it when I have them in stock, and I got some. Well, let's take a look and see if let's see if GAT8. No, man, their site is down, down, down. I have not been able to. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here in 1 sec. Wow. Nope, not been able to pull that up. So you know what? No talking about gata.org today. It looks like their site is down. I'm going to just let that sit. And going to get into something here that some of you folks turned me on to. I've been following this war going on over in Ukraine for quite some time now. I have quite a bit more knowledge than I think most people do on the subject. And because I've studied it and I've watched it since 2014, I've followed it. I've followed the history of Ukraine, the history of where it's been, where it's going. I've watched a lot of stuff, again, pro and con, and I am not pro-war by any way. In fact, I think all the pro-war people should be going to visit John McCain as soon as possible. I know I've said that before, and it's probably not the nicest thing to say, but I have zero respect for politicians, officials, and people that are willing to send our kids off to die in some shithole somewhere, or start wars simply for money or oil and power, or just to sell more weapons, folks. I mean, unfortunately, that's true. But with this current thing going on, some of you turned me on to this guy. His name is Gonzalo Lira. I've been following him for about 2 months now. He's a Chilean-born guy that is an American citizen that was over there in the Kharkov region. And again, it says, Gonzalo Lira, an American author in Ukraine, has been reported missing by his family and friends. Lira's status has gone viral on social media. And again, some of you folks in the comments section are the ones that turned me on to this guy to kind of get a boots-on-the-ground American perspective from a guy, what he was thinking, okay, what's going on. But anyway, relatives of Larry had not heard from since April 15th, and that's when I stopped. I was kind of following him online a little bit, and all of a sudden he just stopped completely. And I think he has about 143,000 subscribers online. Again, you can find him under Gonzalo Lira on YouTube, on Twitter, and Facebook. But there's some, unfortunately, there's some people that think that he's been either arrested and killed and murdered. There's even been some things mentioned to that comment. The Daily Beast published an article that was highly critical of him and probably got him murdered, more than likely, in my opinion, if he is dead, unfortunately. Hopefully he's okay and he's not dead, but boy, it doesn't look promising, folks. You should read more into this story, and you're going to find it interesting. Anyway, just type in Gonzalo Lira reported missing in Ukraine. This is an American that has probably been kidnapped by Ukrainian special, the Ukrainian version of the KGB. And it's not good. It's not good. Again, an American citizen, possibly captured by Ukrainian KGB, not Russians, but Ukrainian KGBs, and hopefully not murdered by them as well. Because as you know, they did murder one of their own mayors, actually. not too long ago. That's fact, not fiction. And speaking of this war, folks, I think it's the reason you're not hearing much news. I've been trying to follow it everywhere, actually. I've been looking online as far as, you can't even find anything on CNN. They're not even talking about on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, any of them, really. They're giving some vague reports of atrocities, this bullshit, that bullshit. That's the military-industrial complex that owns the corporate media saying that kind of stuff. But in the reality of the situation, take a look at this map that I found a while back ago. I've been following it. The Russians are basically rolling right into Ukraine. Now, listen, you know my opinion on this stuff. Blessed are the peacemakers. Screw these war hawks. They actually, again, they should be sleeping with, all right, I won't say it again, but very cool map. You can view this for free. It's, gosh, what's the name of it, actually? I'm sorry about that. Here, I just, Ukraine select regions, and let me see, there we go, liveuamap.com, okay? And I'm going to scroll back out of here, and this is information I think taken from different sources that they've been putting on a map here on the battle that's been going on in Ukraine. And the red areas are controlled by the Russians here, and the red things are Russian bombs, Russian mortars, Russian troops, as you can see. And what appears to be happening here is, oh gosh, there I go again. I don't know how to operate a computer, obviously. There's the whole country, all right? And for some of you that aren't familiar with Ukrainian history, Ukraine, this started as a civil war back in 2014, 2016, something that the United States helped create, a civil war in that country. But basically, a lot of people don't realize this, is that Ukraine is separated into a bunch of different cultures and a bunch of different peoples, and two primarily spoken languages. On this side of the country, where you see mostly blue, and this is mostly Ukrainian nationalist right here, and Ukrainian-speaking people, obviously. And on this side of the country, it's always been pretty much Russian-speaking, all right? And they kind of align themselves with Russia as well, and that's where you're seeing most of the war happening, is in that particular region. Let me see if I can just pull this page over here a little bit, and apparently, give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can do that one. Oh, that's so sensitive. Or my keypad is sensitive. There we go. I'm going to move into over here, but I basically think this battle is pretty much, it's not done, all right? However, if you take a look at what's happening here, isn't this something called a pincer movement, where they kind of encircle this, and look, you've got a huge amount of Ukrainian troops kind of trapped in this area. Once Russia goes and does that pincer movement, and they close off these troops right here to it's over pretty much. It's over for the eastern region, and it's over anyway, folks. All we're going to see right here is just more protracted death, more protracted killings on both sides, unnecessarily, with unfortunately, Western governments, NATO, our government primarily. This is Joe Biden's war, actually, man. This is Biden's war. He was involved when we threw the coup in 2014 and 16 in Ukraine, part of the Biden administration. And for some reason, Biden's have a lot of connections to Ukraine's. And again, I'm not going there, okay? But no less, instead of us, and we should be peacemakers. Instead of us being peacemakers between Ukraine and Russia, what did we do? We threw more weapons in there. We saw the smoke. We saw the smoke, and we knew the smoke was there. This current administration did. I don't know about the last administration. I can't speak for them, but this current administration. And again, Biden's war, in my opinion. Biden was involved with this back in 2000 during the Obama administration when he was vice president. He was involved with the Ukraine overthrow with their State Department. And again, you can read all about that stuff. It was a color revolution that the United States was involved with. It was under the Biden administration with Obama that we originally took a peaceful country. See this big country, Ukraine? If you cut it in half of this country spoke Russian mostly, half of this country spoke Ukraine. They were always somewhat divided and unhappy with each other. But then during the election, when a Russian speaking president won that election, the blue side went crazy, and they always do, and the red side goes crazy when the blue side wins. However, there was a coup instigated in Kiev. And who was the coup instigated by? Can you say color revolution? And who does great color revolution? Who does the best? We do. We do the best color revolutions in the world, folks. So we divided this country and created this civil war here on this eastern section. We caused Ukraine to lose the Crimea. And again, this is nothing more or less than a proxy war between us and the Russians. We've always had proxy wars. Look at Afghanistan. We threw weapons at their enemies. They threw weapons at our enemies. Look at Vietnam. They threw weapons at... This is another proxy war, and nobody wins proxy wars. Even U.S. taxpayers don't win it. Russian taxpayers don't win it. I mean, again, they're not winning for sure on that standpoint. But again, we're losing just as big, folks. This is not cheap, this whole deal. It's going to cost us. I mean, look what it's done as far as commodities and slowed down everything once again, all right? So, where am I going with that? So we caused this country to have a civil war, and then recently by throwing more weapons and threatening to put, see this right here, this is Russia over here. This is the eastern side of Ukraine, which has always, again, been friendly with Russia. Countries always been divided some way, but they always got along until we threw our fucking noses in there and created a coup and created this whole, and threw weapons in there and created large amounts of deaths in this region of the country and encourage Ukraine to go in and with more weapons and just to murder themselves. Because take a look at this. This is a pincer movement. They're going to lose a huge amount of troops here. Hopefully they won't die. They'll surrender peacefully. Hopefully someone will sue for peace. Hopefully this whole region will be peaceful again. However, in war, it takes two to tango. And in times of war as well, folks, in times of war, truth is a hard thing to find. And again, I just kind of paraphrase that right there. Let's take a look at, but I'm telling you, I think this is all correct. I believe Russia is going to sweep through here. That's why you're not hearing much news on the fighting going on there. They're just focusing on, I think a lot of propaganda, in my opinion. A lot of propaganda we're seeing out there in corporate media, whether it's Fox or CNN, lots of propaganda on this war, folks. And it's being promoted by the military-industrial complex, NATO, EU, UK, and United States, and the corporate media, who is just, suck-ups for that. Here's Kharkiv, actually, and if you take a look at Kharkiv here, you'll see that there are some battles on the outside of Kharkiv, and this is actually where Gonzalo Lira has disappeared from, this journalist right here. Has been missing. Again, you should follow this story, and it's a real shame. I'm hoping that he's not dead, but gosh darn, it doesn't look too good. And again, he was probably in this region or this region over here somewhere. This is the, again, eastern side. The Russians are moving in over here. But again, I don't see too many. There's not, I believe that some of the troops are buried in here, Ukrainian troops. Which is unfortunate because Ukrainian troops have stationed themselves in the suburban neighborhoods where the Russians are coming in and kind of taunting them. I mean, anyway, nothing good in war, folks. It takes two to tango. Trust me on this. However, anyone that doesn't think that the United States, our government, unfortunately, this current administration hasn't continually throwing more gas on that fire and wants this war desperately. And again, it's a proxy war between U.S. and Russia. And it's at the expense of the lives of the Ukrainian people on both sides and their blood. All right? Just a shame, just a shame. But anyway, this is what happens when an empire becomes, an empire declines and becomes decadent. You get world leaders and people running these agencies in these countries that become I'm not going to say it. All right, no less. Good time to own gold when you got morons running the world. And let's take a look at ZH and see what's going on here. It is just a matter of time before gold rises 5 times. Lawrence Leopard on Quote the Raven. 5 times, boy, that's a pretty healthy assessment there, but I don't think it's impossible given the environments that we're looking at right now and the huge Ponzi scheme called the U.S. dollar. Right there, and what else? The huge Ponzi's at the COMEX markets, LBMA markets, LME markets, the huge Ponzi. Anyway, I can go on. These are all good reasons to own the shit in your hands, folks. Don't own a piece of paper from these motherfuckers that say you own something. Own it in your hands today. Don't trust them. Again, in war, truth becomes a valuable asset, and you're not getting it. Trust me. If you're watching corporate news, turn that shit off. Turn that Fox off. Turn that CNN off. Turn all that corporate trash off, folks. It's not doing you any good. Are there some maybe good people that are, reporters for some of those places? Sure, there may be, but they're far and few between, and they can't really speak what they want to. They're told what to speak. This person is just evil, man. I don't know what's up with that person right there. And he'll never apologize because he doesn't even know what the fuck he said. And excuse me, let me just go along here. Of course. All right, folks, remember the fault of the economy. And again, they're looking for fault. They're looking for fall guys, folks. They're looking for fall guys for this failing economy and for this giant collapse that we're about to see. All right, the collapse of everything. All right, they're looking for fall guys, and since they can't use the Critter 19 as a fall guy anymore, guess who the new fall guy is? I'm circling it right there. But don't you be mistaken. The fact is that central banks worldwide, central bankers, these major crony corporations that are in bed with governments, our governments themselves, these corrupt motherfuckers, they created this mess. It certainly has not been this person, and it's not been the Critter even. As many people as that Critter killed, it wasn't the Critter's fault that the economy is in a tailspin. It was their fault all along. In 2008, the shit collapsed on them. They should have known better. They didn't fix nothing. All they did was add more plasma currency, more fiat, to a hemorrhaging patient and slap some bandages on it, hopefully. They fixed nothing, folks. And that's what you got. And they're still... central bankers, these crony corporations, and government are still trying to lay the blame off on someone else. But don't you forget it was their fucking fault. I said it, enough F-bombs right there to get someone drunk. All right, I'm moving along here. And boy, oh boy, says public, no longer. Okay. Oh, hey, good news. That's really good news, folks. Glad to hear that right there. Glad we have a smart judge out there that actually ruled in at least one judge out there had the balls, and she didn't even have balls, actually. Well, you never know in today's world, but and who cares, actually? That's actually a stupid statement on my part, but no less, a person had the balls to in the court system to say no more mask, and kudos to her, okay? What else is going on here? Not too much, and I'm getting out of here because you know what? Oh, there you go. Of course, 18-year-old embezzlement charge to derail. Of course they do. This is what they do, folks, is they lie, they cheat. And I'm not taking sides in this battle right here, but this blue side, these so-called liberals, and there's nothing liberal about these so-called liberals. They call themselves liberal, but they're not liberals. I'm a liberal. I believe that you should be able to do whatever the hell you want in your life as long as you harm no one and don't make me pay for it. That's liberal, folks. I believe you can be able to say whatever you want as providing you don't directly harm someone, like telling them that the theater's on fire, okay? Screaming fire in a theater. Other than that, I believe anyone hateful speech, fine. I don't have to listen to it and I can make fun of it. But sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never fucking hurt me, all right? And again, that's what these lefty people do, so-called liberals. There's nothing liberal about them. They're actually really Nazis, in my opinion, to a lot of degree. But that word is so overused. I'm kind of sick of it. I hope they ban. If there's one word I could use the ban of, is that one. It's just so overused, and for the wrong reasons mostly. And then when you nail one right, when you do call them one that's right. Never mind. All right, I'm getting out of here. Hey, the collapse of any empire is good for the price of gold and silver, so keep stacking, folks. And yesterday's video, let me do a sip of coffee here. One sec. I'm going to answer a few questions. I'd like to thank all the commenters here. And gosh, I'm going to do my best not to read every one of your names. And Hunter or Bust, which is my chart guy. We're going to get to his stuff at the very top of the page and see what he has to say. Promise you we would do that. Lots of really cool comments out here. I'd like to thank all you folks again. And let's see here. I'm just reading everything here, folks. And by the way, I see a lot of you are having conversations amongst yourself, which is great. Very educational. I read a lot of what you guys say and talk. I mean, again, I read every comment here that I can. And I can't disagree with any of you. Yeah, I know I made a mistake between a clip and a magazine. I'm sorry about that. Clips are different than clips. I'm still thinking of an old Springfield, right, or something like that. All right, anyways. Thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Smith, for your comment there as well. Richard Reed. There I go, reading names again. All right, I said I wasn't going to do it. Not going to do it. And again, just looking for some questions here. But I am going to acknowledge I'm going to circle around all your names. There we go. Farmer and stacker prepping for years now. People are starting to see what's going on. Yeah, yesterday's video was more about just, for natural disasters even, you should have, a generator. You should have some kind of form of power on the cheap that you can. You should have some food put away and water and all that stuff. And be able to protect yourself as well with a firearm, in my opinion. Donald, that's good. And let's see. Again, looking over here just to see if there's any questions. Hey, Nick, it was nice to meet you, sir. I remember you, actually. The shop was awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it because I remember you were from snowy Michigan. I think I met you and your wife last week. Hope you had a nice trip down here, sir. And I look forward to seeing you again when you come down. Invisible Stacker, 6 months of food. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. 6 months of food is awesome. And yeah, I think they're going down too. Again, looking for some questions here. Give me 1 second. The automobile transport ship. No. I bought some people, when I said Mercedes yesterday, I bought a Sprinter, man. A van. I didn't buy like a typical Mercedes. I bought a van. I put a deposit on it last October. Now they're going to tell me it's going to be this October before I get it. A year for a Sprinter van, which is crazy. And also, thank you, Welco. I appreciate it. I do feel better. Jeff says, combi. I know what they are now, Jeff. Sorry about that. The combi bars, they're really cool. I love them. I thought they were awesome. But the premium when they first came out was pretty stiff, so I avoid high premiums at all costs. I just couldn't see that coolness factor was worth the premium. You know what I mean? And if you can find them out even today at a decent premium, I'd buy them just because they're cool. But I like them. But I didn't like them at the prices that they were. And again, it's cool. You can break them off into 1 gram pieces that were accurate, and I like that. But again, premiums were pretty nuts. If they don't seem outrageous now, why the hell not? If you're not paying more than $100, $120 per ounce on a premium for those things, yeah, why not? I think they're awesome. Thanks for commenting, Jeff. Appreciate it. And Silver Loving Lou, hey, yeah, I know, isn't that crazy shit, man? And let me keep going here. All you folks looking for questions here. Hey, Linda. Let me just turn that off so you don't have to listen to that. Save and wait. Uh-oh, gosh darn. Let's see. Let me guess. It's a crypto guy. Contact Mr. Eddie or something stupid here. Who's the expert too? Mr. Armani today. Oh, look, they're putting his phone number out slowly. What a bunch of... Do they really think people fall for this shit? Anyway, there's what I do for spammers and trollers out there. Let's just do a remove simply. Reporting doesn't seem to do the job. I don't think YouTube cares. Yep. Oh, man. Yeah. Gosh, I would love to live in Bali. How beautiful is that? Thanks, Jerome, for commenting. And thank you, and John and Silver Liner. And yeah, keep shorting BOA stock. You're probably right. I never in prison where a third of the occupants are. 30 minutes were former politicians who sold out citizens of that island country. Oh, cool. All right. Well, I think our prisons would be full right now if that was the case here. And thank you. I appreciate it. I think we might be right on Bank of America. There could be big problems there. There could be a bank failure even there. The potential of, if you watched yesterday's video, I was talking about the similarity between Bear Stearns and Bank of America right now. Yeah, Daz, I agree that. And here we are. Chart guy. Ready? Let's dun. Talking about it this whole video. But chart guys, seems like he knows what he's talking about, man. And look at this. The numbers are almost identical to what he was talking about. From chart guy, a larger weight likely completed at 26.23, and we should now trade between 26 down to 25.35. And let's take a look, folks. Oddly enough, where are we at? We are at that 25.35 mark or close to it. 25.19 overshot it by just a tad, but there's always a big but somewhere, isn't there? He does not believe that we'll see sub $25. I'm a bit skeptical, but you know what? So far, his suggestion from yesterday, we're seeing at 25.35, 25.10. We're right in that mark right now, so I think he's right there. And he thinks the market has low volatility for several days, dancing around a slightly descending pattern at 25.35, and then he says, get your sparklers out, folks. So once it stops piddly winking around between this 25.10 mark, I think he's got as a low here, and the 26 mark, I think we're in for a takeoff. And actually, I just can feel something. I just can feel something going on out there, and I've been saying this for quite some time. The market's been reacting very crazy with these slingshot reactions and all kinds of shit going on, especially in the environment we're in, and the fact that silver is such in high demand, probably investment-wise and industrial-wise. Premiums are crazy, off the hook. We are in a really screwed up situation economically, politically, not created by the war, not created by the critter, but created by politicians that never fixed anything since 2008. We're starting to see where we're going to have to pay the piper for that, folks. So anyways, hey, 100 or bust, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think you're onto something. Let's move along here, and I think we're done, man. Holy crap, we're done. Some of you are saying, oh, thankful, thankful. Man, my quote of the year, think for yourself and question authority. And this also means question your own narrative, folks, because what you think in your brain, the narrative, your beliefs, your opinions, sometimes you need to reassess them, because you got to realize, where did they come from? Did I get them from my school? Did I get them from my teacher, my parents? Did I get it from the news station? Did I get it from Fox? Did I get it from CNN? You got my point now? You see what I'm saying? Is maybe what you think you know is not true. So questioning yourself is even just as important as questioning authority. In fact, you need to do that first before you question or question authority, because thinking for yourself is important. And if you're using someone else's negative narrative, you are not thinking for yourself. Hey, this is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Wow. Long day. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I think we're going to be in the sideways action. I think Chart Guy got it right. Let's see what happens this week. I think if you see it bust through that $26 mark, and maybe we're going to see 27, 28, or the bust out that he's talking about. A lot of people are thinking it, and I'm actually kind of feeling it. Hey, thanks for watching. If you live in South Florida, come and visit me. I'm open 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays. We only do face-to-face business, no online business. So if you don't live in my area, I highly recommend you find yourself a good local handsome dealer like myself. And that's it, folks. Let's see what happens, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.